Let us solve the exercise number 5 in the part B of CMA lab. In this exercise, we are supposed to create a web page using HTML5 and CSS3 to animate the movement of the truck. As the truck moves, there is a image that they have given over here. There is a tree and there are mountains and hills. They should move in the background of this particular scene. Also, what they've said that the hill must be created using CSS only. So you cannot use the image for creating the hill. But for the truck and the tree, the images are created. The SVG images are provided. You can download it from the site that is provided over here. Also, what they have said here is the animation must be created only using CSS and no JavaScript should be used. Let's go ahead and let's create a new project. So I'm going to go here and create a new HTML application. And I'm going to say that this is the truck movement. You can give any name for your project. It's up to you. I'm going to say truck movement. Let me click next. And I'm not going to use any template. Also, I don't want any of these JSONs as well as the JavaScript. I'm going to just finish it off. So the NetBeans is going to create a HTML file for me, and I don't want this remark statement, so I'm going to keep it very simple. So let's look at what are the things which are there in this particular HTML file here. So if you look at the things over here, we have a tree, and what they've said that there must be trees. Okay, so they said mountains and trees, even though there is one tree is provided. So they said trees. So there are trees are there. There is a hill and maybe mountain region is there. We have a truck, and they have provided a few things like the truck and the wheels of the truck. These many things have been provided to us. So let us all keep them in a container and let us start working with it. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to remove this content from here. And I'm going to call this, I'm going to give a class to this, and I will call this as my container. Okay. And inside this container, I'm going to put one more div. And this div that I'm going to put is going to represent the trees that they are there. So I'm going to use the class. And I'm going to say this is the first tree. So they said that there are many trees are there in this. So I'm going to use the different trees which are there. So I will call this one as tree number 1, tree number 2, tree number 3. Also, there are something like we have this mountains and hill. So let's put a div for this mountain. So I'm going to use the class, and I'm going to call this one as a mountain. Okay, mountain. And there are hills are also there. So let's give a class for the hills. So we have the hills and mountains. Also, we need a truck. If you look at there, so we have trees are there, then we need a truck there. So let's go and get the truck. I'm going to use the div for all of them. So I'm going to create a class, and I'm going to call this one as the truck. And finally, I'm going to use one more div for my wheels. So that is what they have said. So I'm going to say class. I'm going to say wheels. Control Z, and just make it as wheels. Okay. So these many things are there. So we have all the things that they have provided for us. So this is the tree. This is the mountain, hill, truck with the wheel, and that is what they have given to us. And if you run this particular application, this is how it should look like. Even though I've done something extra, that is not really required. They have not said that, but you have trees and mountains and hills are moving in the background. and a truck is moving in the forward direction. So let's go ahead and let's create this particular thing. I'm going to give the, first of all, I'm going to give this, get this background color. So I'm going to go and put some style into my page. And in this style, first of all, I'm going to go with the body. I'll take the body and I'm going to set a few properties for this body itself. So if you look at this body, I need a background color for this thing. So I'm going to go and I'm going to select the background, and I can use control space and get the color. You can choose any color. I'm going to select one color. You can select any dark color for that matter. I'm going to just select one color. Control S. Let me run this and let's see how's it going to look like. So if you run this particular application, this is how it's going to look like. So this is the background color that we got it. Okay, and then let's go ahead with the container. So this, if you look at this animation, the whole animation that you see over here is running inside this container. So I'm going to take this container, and within this container I'm going to run this whole animation. So let's go ahead and let's create the container. So I have given the name of the class name as container for this. So if you look at here, I've created a div with the class called as container. In this container, I'm going to give something. Now this container, I'm going to position this container relative to the main window, that is the my browser. So I'm going to say its position is relative with respect to the main window. I'm going to set its width. Okay, I'm going to set it width. Let's say 600 pixel, so wide enough for running it. And let me select its height, and I'm going to select the height as 400 pixel. You can change the height and width. Let me set the margin so that I don't get this margin for left and right. I don't want any margin. And let the other margin, the top and bottom margin, whatever you get it, I don't want anything to do there. Now the first thing I'm going to start over here is I'm going to get this road here on which this truck is moving. So I want the particular road on which the truck is going to move. So how do I get this road? Now this road, if you look at here, that is going to occupy the size of that container that I'm going to stick. So this container, the bottom side of the container, I'm going to draw a border here that's going to act as a road for me. So how am I going to do that thing? I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say that the border at the bottom, so border at the bottom will be slightly larger. Let me say 3 pixel, and let it be solid because I want it to be there in the solid, and I'm going to color it as white. So if you now look at this one, this is not the one, you get this border around here. Okay, now just to understand how the things are going, I'm going to give the background color for this particular thing. I'm going to say background, and I'm going to select a color for the background. Just to tell you that aquamarine I've selected, just to say that this is the place on which the entire thing is going to move. Okay, this is the container. Maybe I can change this color because I'm going to use that color later. So I'm going to just select something which let's say brown color. Okay, let me put that color. So this is the background on which everything is going to work fine. So this clears my container. Let's start with the hill now. So we have the mountains and the hills. So you can take any one of them. So let me start with the hills because I want the hills to be there at the background. So let me uh, put the hill first, because if you look at the images over here, the hills are behind the mountains. So I'm going to just fix this one. So let me have this hills first there. So the reason behind why I took that hills is I want those hills to be appearing far behind, and the mountain region to come near to the truck. So let's start with the hills. Now I'm going to position it absolutely with respect to, so I'm going to say position it absolutely. So that means to say that this mountain, whatever I am doing it, that is going to be positioned with respect to the container. So with respect to the container, let me put it over here. With respect to the container, you are going to draw the hills and whatever you can think of. So absolutely, it is going to be placed with respect to the size and coordination of the container. Okay, so how am I going to get this particular hill? So the how to get the hills and mountain. So to get this hills and mountains or any other region, what we are going to do is we are going to use the rectangle, and we are going to play with the rectangle itself. Okay, so what we are going to do here is we can just press enter here, and I'm going to take a rectangle having let's say 20 pixel cross 20 pixel. I'm going to just show you that, just to tell you that how it's going to appear. I'm going to reduce the size of this pixel now. I'm going to just take this one, okay, and let me give it a background color of say background color, okay, background color as yellow. Okay, so I'm going to just take that yellow color, and let's see. So you see there that you got this box there. Okay, so 20 cross 20 is my box, and I'm going to just move it right at the bottom. So I'm going to just put this at the bottom. So I'm going to say bottom position is say minus 50. Let me put it there. I think not minus, just put 50. Okay. So let's see how is it going to appear. So let me put the pixel there. Without pixel, it may not work there. So you get this one. Okay. Maybe I can put the right also. I'm going to say right. Okay. And if you go to the right, I'm going to just say 50 pixel. Okay. So if you look at this particular thing, this is it is taking some time for it to show the content. So what I'm trying to do over here is I'm going to draw this particular thing. Okay, so I'm going to just get this yellow box somewhere here, so that I can do something with that particular box there. So it got just stuck there. Okay, the reason behind it is, see, when we have this particular box, if you look at this box there, now this is the region in which that box is drawn. Now this is not going to appear like a hill, no doubt. But if you try to rotate it, you are going to get a box which is like, let me draw like this, so a rhombus kind of thing. Okay, now if you cut this, definitely you are going to see this region that's going to appear like a hill. That is what I'm interested in. So I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to get this particular thing. So if I look at here, so the right side, I look at this is px, it has become px. Okay, so let's put it over. Also, it has gone outside. Let me make it as 50 on the other side. So let's look at here. So maybe I'm going to get it somewhere at 150. So let's see how is it going to look like. Maybe 350. So this you don't have to do it. I am doing it just to tell you what I'm going to do. Okay, so let me make this one as slightly larger, just to tell you what I'm doing. So this is a larger image over here. Now I'm going to rotate this particular thing. So I'm going to rotate this thing. So how do you rotate this particular thing? So to rotate it, you have something called as transformation. Now I have to perform a transformation, and the transformation that I'm going to perform is the rotation, and I'm going to rotate. I have done it before. That is why I know that if I rotate it by 135 degree, 130 or 120, anything will work. So roughly in that region, it's going to rotate. So how did I get to this one? Is I just rotated it. So this is let me do it one more time. I'm going to just cut this one and just save it. So this is the original image, and I'm going to rotate it by 130 degrees so that it's going to be rotated. Okay, so it rotated it. Now, if I bring it downwards, so if look at here, if I bring it downwards, so how do I bring it downward? So I'm going to just reduce this bottom by -50. So let me do that. I'll just show you that. So it is going down. Suppose if I make it as a -100, just for the sake of understanding, if you notice that now, if you just imagine this part, if you imagine this part only, so look at here, this part will look like a tree. I mean, not a tree, the hill. So this is one part of the hill. So if you look at the hill here that has been drawn, if you look at this hill, the hills that are going to come, so you will notice that they are actually the rectangle that are being drawn. Okay, now how do I get to, I'm getting only one here. How am I going to get to the remaining? So that is what is required. So how do I get the remaining the hills? Okay, for that I'm going to go with the box shadow. So we have a property called as box shadow. So I'm going to get the shadow. So let me get the shadow. I'm going to get at the 0, 0. So I'm moving it with something. So 0, 0, 0. And I'm going to move it back by 50. I'm going to get a 50 pixel uh, the shadow, and I'm going to use the background color that I'm going to use it a very light color, maybe aquamarine color. I'm going to use it. Okay, you can use any other color. If you know the color, you can use that color. You notice that you got this shadow. Okay, so you got this particular shadow. Now what I'm going to do is from now onwards, I don't need this box anymore. So I'm going to reduce this box and reduce the color altogether. So during the examination, you don't have to try and do this one. So I'm going to reduce this size of this box as a let me 2 cross 2 pixel. So this is the size. I've reduced it down. Okay, just to show you that how it is going to look like. Now this has gone completely down. Okay, I'm going to bring it up by making it as -50. So let's say it has come down. Maybe I can reduce it and make it as -20, and let's say whether it has come back. Okay, or maybe -10 to bring it exactly at this location. Okay, roughly at that you can do it -5 also. I don't require this background color anymore. The yellow color will not make any difference because I am putting this here. Now how to get the other one? So I got one shadow, so I'm going to get the next shadow. How to get the next shadow? I'm going to just make the copy. You can have multiple shadows. So I'm going to make the one more, but you must remember one thing: when you put this box shadow, you can have multiple shadows. However, one shadow must be separated by the other shadow using comma. And the last one must have the semicolon. Okay, let me move it by 50 pixels. So I'm going to move it by 50 pixel. Okay, and I'm going to move it by, let me keep the cursor mouse pointer there. So next one also 50 pixel. this 0 that I'm using here is the blurring. I don't want the shadow to be blurred. You know what is the meaning of saying blur? So when you see the when you have a shadow, you have a shadow here. If you have a shadow here, the shadow will be darker at this point, and as it moves to the other side, so as it moves outwards, okay, the shadow will be darker here, so darker, and it becomes lighter, lighter, lighter. As it moves away, the shadow becomes lighter. So that is how the shadow will look like. So at the edge of any image, so at this edge the shadow will be very dark, but as you move away the shadow becomes lighter, so that is called as blurring. I don't want it to blur because that is not going to produce any effect on the my hills. So let me look at how it's going to look like. So I got the my second hill that is coming near me. Okay, you can increase or decrease the size of this shadow. So if I make it as 70, so let me make it as 70, and if you look at here, so look at the shadow, this is going to go up. Okay, you can make it still larger. So this shadow now has moved back, so this is has moved back by 50. So this is what I've done. So this was my original one was here, and you have moved it by 50 50. Now I'm going to move it in the other direction. I'm going to take it in the other direction. How do I do it? So this side it is positive, this side if you come it is positive, other side if you go it is going to be definitely the other value. So let me go ahead and do it on one side. I'm going to do that thing. So I'm going to get one more hill here. So let's get one more hill. So I'm going to go and I'm going to copy this one. Remember, Control C to copy it. Remove this semicolon, put a comma. Remember, every shadow must be separated by a comma, and I'm going to just paste it. Okay. So how am I going to do it? Now I'm going to make it as 100. Remember, you don't need to get absolutely, you don't need to get all the thing. So first is 0, then is 50, then is 100, and maybe if you want you make it as 50. You can, up to you. Okay, you try anything you want it. So you got one more. Let me put a semicolon. If you don't put the semicolon and if you complete it, then no shadow will appear. So I got one more shadow there. Okay, if you want you can get one more shadow. How do you copy it? So copy this one, Control C, and remember remove this and put a semicolon, remove that semicolon and put a comma, and then put it on the next image that or next thing that you're going to get it. Maybe you can still increase it and make it as still slightly away from here. I can say 250 by 250. You can try anything you want. Okay, and if you notice it's going to go to the other side. The reason why I've done it is if you look at that hill that is going to appear, one hill is appearing, let it come again. Okay, see, one hill is here, one set of hill is here, and the other set of hill is on the other side. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the two separate hills. Okay, if you want you get it one more hill. If you want to get it you get it as 150. It's up to you. So you get 150 and 150, and maybe this is 350 and this is 350. You see the effect there. Okay, let me put okay, uh, show that thing, not this one. Okay, so three hills are there, and you're going to get one more. Okay, it's up to you how you want to do that thing. Whatever you want it, you can do it. I'm going to make it as 250 and just 250. Okay, and the last one maybe 300. I think 350 is going to be slightly away. Okay, just make it as 300 so that they will appear as slightly separated one. This is 300 and this is also 300. Okay, let's look at here. Now if you notice that they have gone outside, So let me try to bring it closer. So I have taken the right margin as 350 pixel. Let me just take the right margin as 50 pixel, just the right side. And if you look at here, they are going to come. Okay. Now you notice that they look like the hill which are appearing there. Now let's go with the other part. So we have done the hill part as such. Okay, let's go with the other one. And what is the other one? Other one is that I have this mountain, the mountain region that I have here. So let me get this mountain. Now for the mountain, the this part will remain same. You have to arrange this mountain. So actually you can copy the whole thing, but I'm going just the position is absolute. Okay, I'm going to see how do you get this mountain now. So the idea is the idea of getting mountain is same. You're going to get a line or slightly a box with which is a rectangular box, and then get the radius of it. You're going to, if you change the radius, it's going to become circular. Okay, you can make instead of making this, you can make it as circular. So make them as circular by changing the radius and then get the shadow for it. So this is what we are going to do it. So we have the width. Let me say the width as 200 pixel and maybe the height as 20 pixel, a rectangular thing. I'm going to just put one color here just for you to understand. So let me put a background color, and let me say this is a yellow color. So just for your understanding, I'm going to uh, put that thing. So if you look at it here, this is how it's going to look like, the yellow colored one. And maybe I'm going to get it, maybe I'm going to get it instead of the bottom as minus 50, I'm going to get it as 30. Okay, so let it come here, maybe 30 or maybe 230. I'm going to just get it up. So this is one. I'm going to work with this one. So what are the things that we are going to do? I'm going to reduce, see this edge. If you notice the edges are sharp here. I'm going to change the curvature and make it as elliptical. So how do you make it as elliptical? To make this one as elliptical, you have to set the border radius. So I'm going to say border, and what is the spelling, border dash radius. Okay, so I'm going to get the border radius, and if I'm going to get it as 50%, not 50 pixel. I'm going to get it as 50% so that it's going to look like an elliptical object. Can you see there? It has now changed as elliptical object. 50% it has come. Now get the shadows for that. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is as before, I'm going to get the shadow. So let's start with the box shadow. So I'm going to say box shadow. The usual idea, we are going to use the box shadow, and I'm going to set some values. Let's start with the same thing, 0. I think I can copy it to maybe 0, 0, 0. Okay, and maybe 50 pixel. Okay, and my color is aquamarine. This is the color that I've taken. Okay, you can take any other color also. If you look at here, this is the hill that you're going to get it. And I don't want this yellow color anymore because I'm going to work with only with the shadow. That this 50 that I put here is the width of this shadow. So that shadow width is 50. That is what I specified here. So that 50 refers to that. Now I'm going to remove this yellow color. It's no longer required to me. And I'm going to set the shadow. Now let me get the shadow on the other side. So you know very well, on one side, if you go positive, you can go on one side. I'm going to go on the other side. So 150 minus 150 pixel and 0, 0. Okay, and maybe 50 pixel and aquamarine. I think I can copy it. I'm going to just copy it, okay, from here only, okay, rather than typing it all over, wasting video and making video lengthier. I can just use that. But anyway, I've typed it. So you got one here. Okay, so can you see that one here? I'm going to reduce the size of this particular height of it as 2 pixel. Let me make it as 2 pixel. And if you look at here now, okay, so if you notice it is changing it. So you have to have something like maybe 20 or 30 pixel here to make it look like a hill like thing. Okay, so make it a hill, you have to have that one. Also you can make this size as a 70. So what if you make this as a 70, and if you look at here, it's going to be still larger. Okay, so one is here and the next one has come to other side. Let us take to the other side. I'm going to go with the other side. Again, I'm not going to type the whole thing again and again. I'm going to just copy it and I'm going to paste it. So 150, you have done it. Let's go on the other side and let's make it as 250 or maybe 200. Okay, 00, I'm not going to make anything. Okay, 50 pixel or anything will work. Okay, 70 also will work. Okay, it's going to come on the other side. Now what you can do is you can reduce some of the thing, like you can make this one as a 20, you can make them as a 50, so that it looks like a hill like region. Otherwise what is going to happen is it's going to look like the same thing again and again. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's put a few more. So I'm going to put this one and okay, paste one more. So 200 I have done. Maybe 300. 300. You have to just change this number. That's all. 300. And let's see. It's going to come on the other side. Okay. Let me make one more. Let me make it as 50. Will it appear beautiful? Okay. Okay. Something like the mountain range you can see there. So you get that feeling. Okay. So last one, let me make it still larger. You can go for 600. I'm going to make it very far away so that it's going to look like this one. Okay, something of this type. I'm going to just move it here. Let me reduce the right side pixel. I'm going to just make it as say 2 pixel. Okay, let's make it as 2 pixel or 12 pixel or something like that. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like. Okay, maybe I can still get it on the other side, but that's okay. So let's put this one in action, and I'm going to just move this downwards. So where is this bottom side? I'm going to make this bottom side. I've just moved it to the other side. I'm going to make the bottom side minus 30. Okay. See, these are all trial and error. You notice that it has come to this side. Okay, so you notice it has come here, and maybe I can still reduce the right side, and I just going to make it as a 2 pixel, and it is coming to the other side. Maybe I can go to say 200 pixel. It is moving on the other side. Okay, can you see there? It is coming to the other side. Okay, very smoothly it is coming. If at all you want it, you reduce it to maybe 30 pixel and maybe 30 pixel, because if you notice there, the height is actually crossing. It is going beyond this one. So let me slightly reduce it to say 500 pixel. Okay, so this is the trial and error you are doing it. So this is how it's going to look like. So this is what I have it now. But what you notice over here is that this part, the below part, is not really required. It is this part is not really required. So how do we remove them? How to remove the remaining part? So for that, I'm going to go to the container. So that I'm going to the container here. And in the container, I'm going to say if it is overflowing, if my image is overflowing, I don't want it to be shown. So I'm going to say overflow is hidden. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. Now you see the subtle difference. So the overflowed contents will not be shown. It is hidden from the region. That is the use of hiding the content. Okay, that being done. Yeah, so I have done this much. We have the mountain, we have the uh, hills. Let's start with the tree. Now what they have done here is for the tree, they have given us the image here, and I have downloaded that image. This images will be available in your college also. Now this is an SVG image, and the background of this, if you look at the tree here, the tree is actually white in color. So if you open it in the browser, you will not see that tree because the browser color is background color is white. White on white, you will not see it. What I have done is I have the GIMP, which is the GNU image manipulation program, which is a open source image editor, like how you have this Photoshop and other kind of thing. This is a free tool and it is open source tool. I have installed that, and in this I have opened that image, and you notice that the height of which is actually 32 pixel. The width of it is 32 pixel and the height is 100 pixel. So this is the actual image. Now if you drag it and put it onto your browser, how is it going to look like? So I've downloaded it here and I'm going to just drag it and put it onto the browser. You notice that nothing is going to appear here. The reason for it is actually that image is there, but that image because it is white in color, you may not be able to see that image altogether. So if you right click on it and if you go to the view source page, if you right click and if you view the source page, you will notice that in this source it's going to show you that there is a image. Why did I show that image? Is it's an SVG image. You are going to see the width and height of that image. So during the examination, suppose if you forget that what was the height and width of the image, what you can do is you can simply go to that image, drag that image and leave it onto the browser, and then right click on the browser and go to the view page source. You will see the image height and width, which is you can use it in your program, so in your script. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get it into our web page now. So I'm going to create the first tree. So I have this tree here. What are the names that I have given? Let's look at here. So the first tree I should have given it as tree number 1. Second tree is tree number 2, and the third is the tree number 3. Three trees are there. Tree 1, tree 2, tree 3. So let's go ahead and let's create a tree number 1. And I'm going to go with the thing. Now the general thing is same. We have the width, the position, height and bottom, and maybe right side, anything you can use it. So this is common for all of them. So this is going to be a common thing. Let's put the position is absolute, and as you know that this particular tree is width is 32 and height is 100. I'm going to use that same thing, 32. So I'm going to take that 32 and 100. Okay, and bottom I'm going to put it at 0 pixel, at exactly at 0. So let's look at the thing. I don't need this pixel here. It's actually at 0. So you have this image. I have something wrong in it here. Unexpected NL is found. A new line is found. Where is it? Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's look at the tree here. So I'm not able to see the tree. Oh yes, the tree I'm not able to see because the tree itself is not there. So what I've done is I'm going to copy this whole thing, the three images over here. Control C to copy these three images. I'm going to copy it. Control C to copy it. Let's go to the NetBeans here. And in the NetBeans, I'm going to click on the project. And you must know which is your project. So I have done a lot of projects here. And the current project is my truck movement. I'm going to click on this down arrow. And if you notice over here, you have the site root in which you have this index.html. That's the page in which you are working now. Current page you are working is the index.html. And in this particular index.html, you are going to paste them. You can use Control V to paste it. So I'm going to just click on here and Control V or just paste it. So you have to paste it here, not on the unit test. You are not going to perform unit test now. So click and paste it here, and all the three images are copied here. Okay, so you have copied this three images. Now I'm going to set them as my background for the tree one. So once these images are being copied, just Control C and copy it, and then come to your project. You have to go to your project, and then under the site root, just paste them there, and you have it there. Okay, that being done, let's go ahead and let's put the image, and I'm going to say that my background is given from the URL. So I'm going to use the URL. I'm going to use this URL, and I'm going to come in middle of this URL, and I'm going to use the control space. And when I press the control space, it's going to give me the option, and I'm going to use the option as freeze. That being done, when I do this one, let's see whether I have the image. So I can see that I have the tree being set here. So I got my tree being set there. Let's go ahead with the next one. Next one is I want the truck there to come. So let's go ahead and let's get the truck there. So I'm going to get this truck, and the truck that I'm going to use is going to have this all this property almost the same, except that you're going to change the height and width of this truck. So if you look at this images of this truck here, size of this is 85 and 60, width is 85 and the height is 60. Again, how do you know this during the examination? As I've told you, go and just drag this truck into your browser, right click here, and then view the source page. So you are going to see the height and width here. Okay, you can always get that. So during the examination, if you really want to know what is the exact size, you may not have the GIMP installed on your machine. So I'm going to use 85 and 60 as my height there. So this is going to be 85 and the other one is going to be 60. So that is going to make the truck, and definitely this is not the image that I'm interested. So I want the truck, so I'm going to delete this thing, and I will press the control and space bar together. When I press control and space bar together, I'm going to get the option for the one, provided you have copied them here. Remember, you have to copy it here. If you don't copy it here, it won't appear. So I will press control space, and I'm going to select the truck here, and I'm going to save this one. So if you look at the you will notice that the truck has come here. Okay, so the truck is here. I want the wheels of that truck. So the truck is appearing here. I want the wheels of this particular truck. So let me go ahead and let me get the wheels of the truck. So I'm going to say wheels. Remember, I have given the class name for all of them. So hill, mountain, tree, truck, and wheels. That is why I'm getting it. These are all the classes that I have declared here. All of the classes that I've declared here for the div, I'm using it in this one. So let me press enter and let me put the thing. Now, as usual, this is the same thing that you are going to use it. Control C and Control V it. Okay, it's the same thing, except that you are going to change the size of the wheel position. Now, if you look at this wheel, where is the wheel now? Now the height width is 85 and the height is 15. So these are the two wheels that you get, 85 and 15. So I'm going to go and fix them as 85 and 15 as given in the image here. So again, if you don't get it, just open it in the browser and you will find them there. Also, you have to change this whole thing. You just delete this and use the control space and then get the wheels. Done. Just save it and we are done with it. Okay, you got the truck with the wheel. Now, one thing that you can do here is you can keep the truck at the middle. So truck, you can keep it at the middle and as well as its wheel. So how do you do that thing? So in the truck, I'm going to go to the truck and I'm going to say the right hand side is, remember, it's not 50 pixel. I'm going to say 50%. Keep it at 50%. If you notice here, the truck is at 50%, but its wheel is still there at some other location. So I'm going to get the wheel also. I'm going to copy this Control C and I'm going to go to the wheel and I'm going to paste the same thing. The wheel is also at 50%. Okay. Okay, so the truck and the wheel, let me not get this one. The truck is there at the middle and everything is fine. Now I'm going to remove this background. Now you know very well that is not really required. So I will go to my container that I used it just for during the examination. Don't do it. So this is for your understanding. I have given the background color for the container. The container that you have here. When I started, I gave the color as brown. Remember, it's not really required. This is I did it for your understanding. Okay, so I'm going to delete it because it's no longer required. So if you delete it, now if you see, this is the effect that you're going to see. So you have the truck, you have the tree, and the only thing that is remaining with you is you have to make them move. So you need animation. So you have to say how this is going to move. So how do we put the animation? For animation, I'm going to go here and I'm going to set the keyframe. Okay. So I'm going to set the keyframe for the hills, for the mountains, for the trees, and so on and so forth. So how do you set this one? You start with the at keyframe. So you say keyframes, you say, and give a name. Okay. You can give any name of your choice. You can say whether it is mountain, tree, whatever you want to start with it. So I'm going to start with the first one. Remember, again, it's not really required that you have to put it in the same order. I'm going to start with the hills. Okay. Let me start with the hills. You give any name here, A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. You can give any name there, but I will give a name that makes sense there. So now you have to say what happens at the 0%. When you start, what happens? Okay. Similarly, maybe at 50% or 20%, what happens? As the animation goes, what happens? At 100%, what is going to happen? So this is what you are supposed to say. So in the animation, as you proceed, you have to say what is going to happen to your hills or tree or whatever you are doing. What is going to happen? Okay, so what is it that is happening? So let's look at here. What is it happening? See, you are actually, it is all the things are coming from the other side. So if you notice over here, see, the things are coming from this side. So they are moving from this side and they are going back. So your all these images which are here, you start those images, slowly drag them and get them to this location. So this is what you are going to do. So you get them from some location, start moving them back, and then put it over here. Okay, so this is what you are going to do it. So how do we achieve that particular thing? So wherever that image is there, okay, finally, if you look at the mountains, tree, whatever it is there, so I'm doing it for the hills. If you look at this hill, the hill is there at some location. So what is the current location? 150. Okay. Suppose if I make it as a 350, just for your reference, for 350, not this, sorry, 350. This is the thing. Okay. Suppose if I make it as 550, where is that image? So you notice it is somewhere. It is moving to some direction. It is moving. Okay, as I change the position of this hill, the right hand side of this hill, it is moving in a different direction. Okay, so what if I make this one as minus 550? So let me say minus 550. So where is it? Minus 1. It is gone. So let me just make it as minus 50, and let's see the effect minus 50, and let's see the effect. You see this? It is moving. So minus for your understanding, I'm just doing it. Minus 70. Where is it? It is moving. Can you see that? Minus 170 or maybe 120. Minus 120, it is still moving on to the other side. Okay, so you can set this one. Okay, so you will say that at 100% where it should come. So that is what you are going to say. So at 100%, I want it to be translated. Remember, I'm typing it here. The reason for this is, if you are typing it, if you're using NetBeans, if you type anything inside this, you won't get any help as such, that you won't get the one that you are generally getting, the help prompt, you won't get it. So I'm going to type it somewhere in the any of them. You can type it. So if you are typing it inside this keyframe, if you're typing it, you won't get any help from the NetBeans. That's why I'm typing it here. So this has nothing to do with the animation, but I want the NetBeans to help me out with the spelling, so that I don't make the spelling mistake. So at 100%, I am going to say, I'm going to transform it, okay, and I'm going to translate it, okay, and I'm going to get it at maybe some say minus 2000 pixel, somewhere I'm going to get that thing. Okay, this is what I've typed it. I'm going to just cut it here. The reason I did it is because I know that I've not done a spelling mistake. If you do a spelling mistake, it won't appear here. And if you type it in this region, NetBeans will not help you out with the syntaxes. Okay, so you have done this thing. How do you animate it? So this is what you said, at 100%, that hill, whatever you have, should move to some direction. So that is what you said, at 100% it must come there. So how do you animate it? So let's go to the hill here, where I've typed this hill. So in this hill, I'm going to type the animation. So I'm going to say animation. Okay, and now you have to give the frame. So this is the frame that you have done. So this is the keyframe that you have done. So that is why I told you any name you can give. I'm going to take this name, Control C from here, and Control V, and I'm going to just paste it here. That's the name that you are giving. Okay, and then it is going to say, how do you it is going to tell you what are the things that you want to do it. So you have this hills with you, okay, and what is the duration? So let me say 2 seconds. Okay, how much delay you want it? Maybe 0.5 second. You can play around with this one. And what type of movement? Remember, I want a linear movement. What is the meaning of saying linear movement? I just want it to go one direction to the other direction. That is what I want it to do it. So I'm going to say it is a linear, okay, and I want this to go for infinite. I want it to go infinitely one after the other. So if I look at it now, you notice it is moving, okay, it is moving, it is moving, it is moving. But what is the problem with the here is I'm going to just slow it down so that you can see that. I'm going to make it as maybe 6 pixel, I mean 6 second, and you notice that it is actually rotating. I don't know whether you'll be able to see it or not. It's actually rotating. Can you see there? I don't want it to rotate. So what I'm going to do? So I'm going to, with the animation, I'm going to copy this 135 degree. You notice that your box was like this. You rotated it by 135 degrees, and I want that 135 degrees to be part of that linear transformation. So I'm going to just copy this rotation by 135 degrees, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to put a space, and I'm going to paste it here. Rotate by 135 degrees. That is also is required. So one is a movement, the other one is a rotation by 135 degrees. So let me save it and let me show it here. Can you see the hill getting moved? Okay, so hill is going to move. Can you see that the hill is moving? Now let's start moving the mountains also. Story remains same. You just have the keyframe, Control C to copy it, Control V to paste it. Only difference is I don't want the mountain region to rotate, so I'm not going to rotate it this time. The rotation is not really a matter, and I'm going to go. So this is same thing. Hill, keyframe hills, and translate by 200 pixel. That is done. Let's go to the mountain. Okay, this is the mountain. If you are too lazy to type, you can use Control C and then paste it. Okay, here the last thing is the animation. I have just copy pasted it. This is not hills, remember. For the mountain it is this. You have to give a proper name, so I'm going to call this as mountain. You can give any name, XYZ. Also this is mountain, so this keyframe is for mountain because there is no 135 degree rotation. This is for mountain. Control C it here, and you have the animation. So which is the keyframe? Mountain. For maybe 6 second linear infinite. I'm going to just keep it there just to show you that how it's going to work. Now you notice it is coming, and you notice that both mountains and trees, they are coming together one after the other, which is something that you don't want that thing to happen. What are the things you can do? One thing is you can make the mountain move faster. How do you make the mountain move faster? Make it for 2 seconds. Okay, let's see what is the effect. You see that mountain is very fast moving. Okay, okay, you can do that. You can do this one. You can make it as a 3. Also, there is the other way around. You can play around. And what is that other way around you can do with the mountain is when you have this keyframe for this particular mountain, you can change the duration of this particular mountain. You can say that my mountain or will move faster or slower. How do you go about doing this? Is you say that when you have this translation, you can take this mountain. Where is this mountain? The right side you have taken it as 500 pixel. You can make it as 800. Okay, so this mountain will come in a very different maybe this is too much. Okay, maybe this is 100, right side is 100. Okay, so that sometime they may come together, or sometime it will come on its own. Okay, maybe this is maybe minus 100. Can I go about doing it? Okay, so you see that sometime mountain is coming, sometime the hill along with the mountain is coming, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you have this hill and mountain, both are coming one after the other, so you get the effect. You can play around with it during the examination. Just once you get it moving, that is enough. Whether it is moving first, it is moving next is not the problem. You just fix the things that are really required. Okay, that being done, so you have your mountain being created, your hill is being created, and then what else you require now? You require the trees to move. Okay, so let's start with the tree. Okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to just copy this one, Control C to copy it, and I'm going to paste it, Control V, and I'm going to call this as tree 1. Remember, you can give any name here. This need not be same as the class name. It has nothing to do with the class name. Now I'm going to say, remember, the tree has to, I'm going to give the starting and ending location for the tree. So I'm going to just copy this, Control C from here. So at 0, when the animation start, let it be there at some location, let's say 100. And when it is ending, you can play around. Remember, what is that you are doing if you didn't got it? So the tree is here and in the beginning, and when in the end it has to come here. From here the tree has to translate back to the other direction. That is what I have done. You can play around with this one. Remember, don't play during the examination. Just fix 1100, something of that type. Just remember that numbers 1500 something, you just remember that, and then go ahead with it. So let's start with the first tree. I'm going to put the animation for the tree number 1. So I'm going to say animation. Okay, and what is that? Excuse me. What is that you are doing with the tree 1 is I want the keyframe as tree 1, and maybe at 4 seconds you can do it 4 second, and maybe 0.0 maybe 0.3 second. You can play around with this one. Remember, this is a thing that one, whatever that strikes your mind, you just do it. And I want linear transformation. What is the meaning of saying linear transformation is you're going to learn about it. Linear means from here you are linearly moving to the other direction. So sorry, to the other side. From here linearly you are taking it to the other. So straight you are taking it to the other side. Let me save it. Let's see whether we are able to get. Can you see that one tree is moving? Okay, you got one tree now moving. Yes, I need many trees of this type, so I'm going to just use Control C, and I'm going to paste it again. I have 3 uh, trees here. If you notice, one I have tree 1, tree 2, 3. So I'm going to set it for the tree number 2. So this is tree number 1. For the tree number 2, I'm going to just make it as tree number 2, and also this is tree number 2. Okay, but I don't have the key frame with the tree number 2, so I'm going to go and make the copy of the keyframe. Control C and Control V. This is 2. Don't put the same values, so don't make them go in the same values. I'm going to just make it as 800. Whatever that strikes my mind, I'm doing it. It is not a calculated one, so I'm just putting some number there. And maybe if you want to, you can reduce the for the tree number 2. If you're given 3 seconds, you can make it as 6 seconds. It's up to you. Okay, so whatever that strikes your mind. Can you see there, one tree is going fast, other tree is slow, and so on and so forth. So you get 2 trees coming there. Let's go ahead and let's go for the other 3. I have 3 trees here, tree 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to go here with the tree number 3. Remember, I have 3 trees here, tree number 1, tree number 2, 3. So I'm going to animate all the 3. So this is tree number 2. Then let's go with the tree number 3. So this is tree number 3, and I'm going to set this one as tree number 3, and maybe it's going to go with 5 seconds maybe. Okay, maybe the animation duration I'm going to make it as 0.5. Let's see, first one is 0.5. Okay, first tree is 0.3. Okay, I'm going to make it as 0.5. Okay, done. Let me copy paste it, keyframe, and then paste it. I have the keyframe. This is tree number 3. I have done the in tree number 3. Maybe this is I have taken it 1,100 there. I'm going to make it as 1,800, and maybe this is 200. Okay, some values, I'm just giving some values there. Just paste it and just see whether you are able to get to move there. Okay, so you have 3 things there, and I think I have made some mistake here when I copy pasted it. What is the error that I have done is tree number 3, and I think I have not closed, I didn't copy pasted it properly. So let me paste it, and let's see the effect. So we have 2 trees and 3 tree, and maybe you have many trees coming one after the other. So you have 3 trees coming one closer one, and so on and so forth. You got 3 trees there, you got everything. However, you need this one now. You need one more thing, that is this 2 lines there, and that is generally that shows that it's a speed of the wind. I'm going to just show you here in the original one. Can you see that wind here? Okay, so that wind effect is required. So how do you get this wind effect now? So that is going to be one more challenge to you. Now this wind, if you notice here, that is coming, that wind effect, this is not really required. This wind effect that you notice here is before that truck. So you have to set the property before the truck. So you have this truck here. Now I'm going to start with the truck itself, and I'm going to say truck, and I'm going to say before this truck, okay, I want to set some property. So before the truck, again, the story is it's going to be absolute positioned. So I'm going to just say positioning is absolute, okay, because I want it to be absolutely positioned before this track. Okay, that being done, and the content, I'm going to put a content inside it, and that content I'm going to show is a space. I'm just putting some content there, so that content that I'm going to show is a space, because I want one space to be shown there. That's only a thing I'm going to do it there. Okay, now you can set the width of that thing there. So I'm going to set its width as maybe 25 pixel, something that runs into my mind. I'm just typing there. Now let's add this box shadow. Okay. So I'm going to set this box shadow. So I'm going to start roughly 30 pixel behind the uh, truck there, and let me say it is roughly maybe 10 pixel wide. Okay, so that this value I've taken it, and I want it to maybe I don't want it to have any blur effect, but I want the thickness of it, let it be 1.5 pixels, slightly thicker, and I want it in white in color. Okay, so let me save it, and let me go here. Okay, can you see that effect? I'm not able to see that effect there. Let me make one more. Let me put 2 of them so that you can see there. Okay. Let it start at 30 pixel, and let it go at 18 pixel. Okay, let me put one comma there. Okay, the rest remains same. So let me just save it there, and let's see the effect there. Okay, it has not come. What is the problem? But did I make something wrong there? Did I made okay? I want the color, I suppose, is white. Set the box shadow color as one. Did I make some mistake in this one? It should have appeared there. So let me refresh it. Okay, let me see it one. So what I have not done here is I just forgot to put a dot there. So this is the one. If you put the dot, you're going to see those two lines there. So I'm going to remove the first one. I'm going to just keep the first one just to show you that it's going to appear there. Okay, so that's the first line. Can you see that line there? And the next one, I'm going to just paste it, paste the next line there. You'll see that two lines there. Now I want the animation. If you look at here, they are actually slightly, it is moving up and down. Okay, so that is the next thing that I'm supposed to do it. So how do I going to do it? I'm going to definitely going to put an animation. To put an animation, I need a keyframe. So I'm going to just copy this keyframe and I'm going to just paste it down here. I'm going to call this one as wind. Okay, you can call it as anything. I'm going to call it as wind. And in this wind, this time I'm going to I'm going to do it only at 50%. I don't want anything to happen at 100%. I just want it to something to happen at 50%. Now here, I want this wind. If you look at this particular wind, it is moving up and down. You notice that it is moving up and down here. So I want the translation to occur at y there. Okay, so it is translation along this y direction. Okay, and I'm going to just make it go up by saying it is just 5 pixel up. Okay, so let me go here, and if you notice that it is moving, not this one, sorry. So can you see there? Okay, so it is going to go up and down by this 5 pixel. Now I have not put that thing. I'm getting a bit irritated because of that dog, but anyhow, I can't help playing with that dog now. Anyhow, let's put the animation for the where is that wind. Okay, so let me put that animation, and the animation that I'm going to put here is with respect to the wind. Okay, and I want this thing to happen in 2 seconds, let's say, and maybe very slow, maybe point 0.3 second. Maybe you can put any value of your choice. Okay, and this time I don't want linear. I want it with the ease. You are going to learn about them in the what is the difference between this ease. Remember, what is the meaning of saying ease is actually there are two other things. You have this ease in, ease out. What is the meaning of saying ease in and ease out? I've used the ease there. What is the meaning of it? See, the ease in means when the animation starts. So when you have the object here, animation starts, it slowly starts, it picks up slowly and then speeds up. Ease out means it starts abruptly, and but when it is ending, it's going to go slowly. Ease in and out, or just ease, means it's going to start slowly and it's going to end slowly. So that is the effect. That is what is the meaning of saying ease there. So let me show that effect there. Can you see my image here? So that is moving up and down. Can you see there? Okay. So you have these things getting created. Now what you require is actually your program ends there, because they have not talked anything about the effect on the truck. but I'm going to put some effect on the truck itself. So let me put some animation for the truck. It is not really required because they never told anything regarding the truck. But I'm going to just put some effect for the truck. So I'm going to say truck. Okay, this is for the truck. Now, if you look at this truck, the original one, it's going to actually jump a bit as though there are some humps in the road, and it's going to just jump up and down. How do you achieve that particular thing? So at 0%, I'm not going to do anything. At 5%, let's say, it's going to go at 0. Okay. At 6%, I'm directly doing it. So remember, the effect is should be subtle. If you look at here, the effect is very subtle. It just jumps and comes back. So that is what I'm going to do it. So at 6%, I want it to move up by -10, let's say. Okay, and at 9%, I want it to again come back to 0. Okay, so maybe at 9%, I want it to come back at 0. So I'm just putting some value. So the reason is I want it to, if you notice here, it is moving up and then coming back. So it has to go up and then immediately come down. So that is the effect I'm doing it. -10 means it's going to go up, come down, again it's going to jump. Okay, so again I'm going to put some value here, and again I'm going to type some value here at 12, let's say. It's going to jump up again, let's say -15. So it's going to jump up to 15, and finally it's going to come down back at say 13. Immediately it's going to come up. So it's going to be, it's like it's jumping one after the other. So it's going to come back to 0. So this is the effect that you are going to get that thing. Remember, this is not really required for your examination. If you just show the truck moving, that's enough. So let me put that effect and just show you how it's going to appear. So let's go to the truck here, and where is the truck here? So for this truck, I'm going to put the animation. So, and I'm going to say animation. Okay, and the name that I gave it to my keyframe, that is the name that I have given here, is this one. That is the keyframe that I have given. So that is the track. And how many seconds? Again, I'm going to take it as 2 seconds. It's up to you. And maybe some delay, okay, by 1 second. And again, I want it to make a very smooth jump, and I want it to be infinitely running animation. So let's go ahead and let's look at this one. This is my effect, and you see there. So it's going to jump. Okay, now only truck is jumping, but not the wheel should also jump. If you want the wheel to jump, just copy this whole thing, Control C, and just go to the wheel wherever you put the wheel, and then just put the wheel also, and just save it. And let's see what is the effect. And now the whole entire the wheel is also moving along with the truck. Can you see there? Now this effect is there because in the original, if you look at this original version of this is actually a copied version from the net. There is actually a stone that is coming. If you see here, actually there is a stone that is coming. That is why it is jumping up and down. Okay. In other words, there is a rock or stone, whatever you call it as, that is coming, and that is why it is jumping. How do I get this stone? Again, remember, this whole thing is not really required for your examination. Kindly note, this jumping of the truck is not required because it is not mentioned there. Only up to this part is only required, but I'm going to complete it if at all. Maybe for your practical, you may do that particular thing. So let's start by getting a rock there. So how do I get a rock? Now to get the rock, you need a div. Remember, this is not required for your examination. I'm just doing it extra. You can stop the video if you don't want to go ahead, but I'm going to just make this one. I'm going to just call this one as one more div. I'm going to call it as rock, and I'm going to set the shape for the rock, and I'm going to say rock, and I'm going to just put this rock there. How do you get this rock? Now the whole story is same. You just go get the absolute location and get the rock. How do you get the rock? Maybe you set maybe 10 by 10 pixel or 7 by 7 pixel. You get this one, and you notice you want to get the border radius. So you go and say border radius. You say border radius. Yeah, if you want, you set it as 50%, or maybe if you don't want to, you can just say some value 20 pixel. Okay, you can set that thing. And let me give a background color. Now let me give a background color for my rock as brown. Okay, I'm going to set it as brown in color. Okay, and definitely my bottom position, I want it to appear on the bottom side. So let's look at where it is going to appear. Can you see this thing there? Okay, so it has appeared there. Now let's animate this one here, this stone that you see here. Okay, I'm going to animate it. So again, you need a keyframe there, and let me. You can copy any one of them. I'm going to just copy this one, and I'm going to call this one as rock. You can give any name for that matter. And at 0%, I'm going to translate this one x. Okay, I'm going to just paste it there. At 0%, it is there at some location. Let's say it is there at 300. Somewhere you can place it outside. Okay, at 100%, it's going to cross it from there. So what I'm actually trying to do is I'm going to keep this stone here, somewhere here, and I'm going to drag that stone back. So that's it at 300, and I'm going to get it back. So initially it will be there at 300. Maybe at the end it is going to come at 100%. It is going to come at maybe 5 or 10, whatever you want. You just put the value there. So it's going to come there. Now let me go back and let's go to the rock where I put the rock there. I'm going to animate this particular thing, animation, and my keyframe is rock. This is the name that I have given. You can set any time for that matter. So you can say how much it's going to go. I'm going to say again 2 seconds, and the duration maybe 0.03 seconds, and I want it to be linear because there is no smooth as such, because it's just moving and infinite. So let's see whether that rock is moving or not. Where is the rock? Rock is not. Oh, that rock. Oh, I think sorry. Very sorry. And I copy pasted it. Actually, I made it as translate y. So you must be careful. This is along x direction. It is translating. When I copy pasted it, actually I copy pasted it from here. This is translate y is there. I want it along the x direction, not y direction. So can you see that the rock is coming from somewhere? Okay. Okay, can you see that rock is coming? Okay, but the rock is not coming from. I expected it to come slightly far away from my location, but it's not coming. Maybe I can make it as 1000 so that it appears very far away. Okay, it is coming from there. Okay, good. It is coming from there, well and good, but it is coming very fast. So what I can do is I can, where is my rock there? I can make it as 4 seconds, maybe, just to see that. Okay, so it is a bit slow. 3 second. Okay, so it is coming. So even the rock hits it, maybe I don't know. You play around. Okay, so when it hits, it just jumps. That's all you need to do. Remember, that part is not there for your examination. Don't play around with that. Okay, don't waste time during the examination. So this is what you are supposed to do. I have achieved everything as what they have said with the animation. Thank you for your interest. We will meet again in the next video. Thank you.